I need to extend the train track. Welcome back everyone to Just Minecraft, where today, that is right, we are finally going to be actually connecting up our little train station to the train network which goes around the entire server. And of course, you know, like decorating the tunnel around this because I mean like currently it's just this. And I'm excited for it because I think I have a really nice tunnel design which I want to go with here. The thing is, of course, because we are connecting to an already existing train network and someone has actually, you know, like decorated this, we are just quickly going to need to make sure if we can actually do this. That tunnel over there, past the bridge, do you want any claim over that and stuff?
No, I don't.
So, the tunnel, what do I want to do with this? Well, of course, I have a little bit of an interesting thing with my train network, which is different to everyone else's, which is the fact that my part of the train network actually has two different rails. We've got this one here and that one there. Whereas everyone else on the server just has something like this. They just have a line which goes directly through their base, or in the case of Morgan Squid, it terminates there. And the thing is, technically, what I have is also just one single rail. It just does this little loop around at the bottom. However, the problem that this leaves us with is over here we have two tracks next to each other, which means we have a nice wide tunnel, but then somehow we need to take this tunnel and reduce it down to this. Or, you know, at least a tunnel that fits just one track, and that's where I feel like I'm gonna have a bit of an issue. Because, of course, when this part of the train network gets wider, it kind of feels like the tunnel needs to be taller as well in order for it to remain at a sort of scale. However, of course, then if we keep it at that height over here, then it's gonna be weird, because then you have a really tall and wide tunnel for just one track. Do you see the issue I'm having here? So, essentially, what I'm saying is we have a little bit of a unique issue with our part of the train network, which is just the fact that, like, we've got to adjust tunnel sizes in the middle of a tunnel. I mean, look, it's not even, like, a nice, convenient thing where it's just like, oh, yeah, they're still heading the same direction. No, this is a T-junction. This is probably one of the worst possible shapes that we maybe could have had with it. But anyway, I am getting just a little bit off topic because, of course, I'm already talking about the design of these tunnels and everything, when really what I need to be thinking about is digging this out. Because I think thinking about some sort of design that I like, I want to increase this up by just one more block, make it a little bit taller. And over here, I think the same, probably make it one block taller, maybe even two. Oh, I could do a half slab actually. Oh, a half slab might work so much better. So, okay, 1.5 blocks up here, and the other thing which I need to work out is how far do I need to dig this? Because we're going through a fairly long tunnel here, and it goes all the way over to here. Right, that is quite the distance. I mean, like, it's almost perfectly 5 chunks, so it's not the worst, but, like, it is definitely going to take a little bit of time. So, with all of that said, guys, I think it's time we do a little construction work. Temporarily out of service. Look at that. We are just as reliable as every British railway. And there we go. So right, with that done, let's dig out this tunnel and tear up the entire railway in the process. Okay, so I've dug out the tunnels at this point, and luckily it's not taken as many pickaxes as last episode did. I think last episode was like 2 pickaxes just to dig out all of this stuff for space for the dock. I've only had to make 1 new pickaxe this time, and we've got a very like London Underground sort of tube look going with this tunnel right now, and honestly, I quite like it. It wasn't intentional. I think it's just if you try and make a tunnel somewhat like smooth and curved, then then it's gonna end up looking like the London Underground. But you can also see I planned out where the rails are going to go here and stuff, so the rails will always go on top of these dark oak planks, and it is going to be a lot. The good news is I don't need to use many power rails really, because by the time anything gets up here, it should be going at full speed no matter what direction it's coming from. So I'm not gonna need many power rails up here, but like it's still gonna be expensive. And I think my biggest concern is actually how much stone and everything like that it's going to take to do the roof and the walls here. To the point where I'm almost wondering if I can do a different block on the roof. I don't want to do something like wood. I want it to be some form of stone, but I wonder, like, have I got a bunch of deep slate spare, maybe? Like, let's see. If I go and dig through some of my chests over here, I'm on the wrong side. I think that's cobble, that's andesite, that's granite. Come on. Deep slate anywhere? Deep slate? Do I not have deep slate? Okay, so I don't have deep slate in any of those barrels. How much deep slate am I gonna have, like, everywhere else? Because, in theory, I'm only gonna need half as much, because I should just be able to turn it all into slabs for the ceiling, minus a few parts where it's gonna need stairs, but even still, I mean, I don't think I have enough. Okay, I mean, like, there's a decent supply there, so I might be able to do... Oh, yeah, I feel like I've probably got enough, or at least enough to the point where I can just go and get a little bit more if I need to. So, okay, that's the roof covered, and as for the walls, I think I'm going to do something similar to what we've got here. I think I'm gonna do this, like, stone with the dark oak pillars, and I can probably put them a nice equal distance, and also, like, use that to mark out where the power rails are going to go as well. That seems like it could be a good idea. And then, as for what's going to go down here on the floor next to the tracks, I think I'm going to continue the spruce planks that I did over here as well. Because, yeah, I really like the look of this and stuff. I don't know, there's something I just love about, like, that half or, like, quarter block indent here, just next to the track. So I feel like I have most of the design worked out for this and everything. It's just a matter of, like, getting all of the resources for it. Because, of course, I've got to smelt up all this stone as well. And then, of course, we're going to have the issue of, like, actually setting up the track with all of the power rails, which is going to be a much bigger concern. But for now, though, I think everything's handled. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get to work building this. And I think I will see you all at the end of it. I just need to cut down a whole bunch of trees. And with that, the tunnel was done. And I'm gonna be honest, it makes it feel so much longer now that it's expanded, which is weird. You'd feel like it would be the other way around. Because, like, technically we've brought the ratio of, like, height and width to length down, I think is the correct number. Or would it be up in that case? I don't know. But, like, basically it's wider, so you feel like it would feel shorter for some reason, but, like, no, it feels longer. And there's definitely a few decisions here which, like, I wasn't originally intending. So, like, first of all, I wasn't going to do these slabs at first, but I actually think that they just add that little bit more, which works so much better. And also, I was originally intending to go and power all of the power rails on these lines by putting torches underneath the blocks. However, then I just decided I don't want to do that. Genuinely, just the idea of having to break every block and then put a redstone torch under it and then replace the block, even though that would take 2 minutes, it felt like too much work to me. So I went, you know what? It's a stylistic choice. We're putting levers on all of the walls. And I mean, it kind of looks interesting. I'm going to leave it. But the final thing for me to actually do now is go ahead and put all of these tracks in. And I'm not entirely sure how many power rails we're going to need. So I'm just going to make as many as I can. 30 doesn't feel like enough. But considering the fact that, like, actually it goes down to 1 track for most of this, maybe it's fine. I feel like it's not going to be, but, like, we might as well just see. Okay, I just about have enough. I definitely need to work on getting some more gold at some point. But also, to be fair, once again, I've got more power rails than the rest of the train track and stuff. I think this is like once every 16 blocks. I've got it once every 9 blocks. I don't know why I've done it like that. I kind of just want the speed, but also at the same time, like, I find it easier to count it like that, so I did. And as for just the... Oh my gosh, hello.
He's really nice.
Hello.
Hi.
Is he gonna go over the bridge? Yeah, he's gone over the bridge! That was a very nice, unexpected conversation with Cool there. But yeah, whilst I was talking to him, I did actually go ahead and put all of the rails in place, and as you just saw with him there, it is far. I mean, like, I knew it would be fast anyway, but, like, that was much faster than I thought it would be. I still thought there would be a couple seconds before he went across that bridge. And I think he actually took my only minecart there. Oh man, I've got to go and get a minecart just to test this. But I think the final thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cover up some of the stuff up here maybe, because I mean, like, yeah, this is a little bit ugly. And granted, covering it up with dirt like this is also still going to be ugly, but it at least blends in a little bit more with the Minecraft terrain. And then in future, I'll probably work on this part of my base again in future, and then it can be terraformed a bit nicer. For now, though, I am just going to take the lazy way out and cover this up. So, I mean, let's see. Hopping into free cam here. Yeah, it is quite obvious that some things that actually, when it's covered up with grass, it might not be that bad. I think once the grass grows, it's actually not going to be too obvious that that's covering something up. But for now, I want to go and grab a minecart and test this out myself. So, let's say I am a wonderful customer. I'm Luma or something, and I'm thinking, ooh, you know what? I want to go to Morgan Squid's base. So I can just go and pop down my minecart and take off, and wow, look at how slow we're going. I'm being deafened by the minecart tracks. And then we pick up speed as soon as we hit the tunnel. And there we go, we arrive at my base, and oh, look at this. Isn't it beautiful here in the rain? But then, you know, this isn't where I want to be, so we go and take off again, and immediately up to full speed. We pride ourselves on how quick this rail is, and off we go. We maintain the momentum, which is nice. And there we go, we're at Morgan Squid's. I wonder how long that actually takes. Hold on, I need to time this. Oh yeah, and also let's remove this sign here. So, going from this base to my base, it takes a total of 18 seconds, almost 19. And if we decide to go the other way back... Oh no, I forgot to... No, wait! So if we decide to go the other way and go from my base to Morgan Squid, then we end up with a total of 14 seconds. I mean, it's not the biggest change in the world, I'll admit, and I knew it wouldn't be, but like, hey, I can now pride myself on saying I do indeed have the fastest station on the server. But with that, my train station's now done, and I love it. We're actually connected to the rail network on the server finally. It's great. And it also means I can finally say that I've worked on my base again. It only took like 3 months of getting distracted. But now, of course, there's the wonderful question of, what do we do next? And I'm gonna be honest, there's several things which I have been thinking about doing on the server. One of them is a bit more work at this base. Another idea is something that may be profitable with these. But the other thing that I've been thinking is, well, it's almost October. In fact, it might even be October by the time this video comes out. So, you know, I'm just thinking, it might be time for us to get spooky soon.